Good evening, everyone. Hi, how is everyone? Nice to see you all. Welcome to this Get the Gloss Masterclass with Adaptology. I'm Victoria Woodhall. I'm editorial director of Get the Gloss. Welcome to some familiar faces from our past masterclasses. And tonight we are going to be joined by the founder of Adaptology, Laura. I've got my products here. I hope you've got found your goodie bags arrived. And we are going to be talking all about finding the right products for your skin type, whether that's sensitive, rosacea prone, acne prone, whether you've got aging concerns. I think that's it. And what I'm just going to bring in Laura now, and where is she? There is she goes. Yes. Good evening, Laura.
Hi, nice to see you, Victoria. Thank you very much for having me.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for coming. So just a bit of housekeeping about the evening before I let Laura tell you all about Adaptology, and obviously answer all your questions as we go. Please do put them in the chat. Just a bit of housekeeping. We're going to have a little chat with Laura just about how she came to be so a founder of not just one but several natural skincare brands, and Adaptology came about really through your own journey, didn't it? And I'm sure we're going to hear with problem skin, and we're going to hear a bit more about that later. So we are going to be doing a facial along. If you have got your products with you, please do take this opportunity to unbox them. Or I have got a bowl here of water. I've got a hair clip somewhere. I've got some face cloths. Obviously, cameras on, cameras off, totally up to you. If you'd like to join in, please do. Laura will be taking us. You've all got different products, I believe, which are for your skin type. And Laura's going to be explaining exactly what went into them all to make them suitable and make it for your skin type and to really bring out the best in your skin. So I'm going to be quiet now. Laura, welcome.
Thank you so much. So yes, this all started with my own journey because I had lots of problems with my own skin from my late teens to my early 30s. I had cystic acne. And so before I even entered the beauty industry, I was already working on my own skin journey and trying to work out how to improve my skin. And I spent a long time working with a naturopath and eventually managed to get completely clear of my acne. And I really became very convinced that a natural approach was really the best way to get to the root cause of all of these issues. And I've been working in beauty for about 17 years now, a long time. And really my passion is to help people get the best, most beautiful skin they can and really live a little bit better in lots of different ways. So I have two brands. I have Evolve Beauty, which is a range that's really suitable for all skin types, and it's designed to be affordable and sustainable. But I felt there was room to develop a more treatment and results focused range, which really put all of the best ideas that I had and all of my latest research to really give people the best results possible with natural ingredients. So I love doing research. I went and looked for the most effective natural ingredients that I could find. And what I found was that they come from the most extreme parts of the planet. So I based my Adaptology range on these amazing adaptogenic ingredients that have survived and evolved in these really hostile environments, and I think they're the perfect way to help problem skin and to get the best results.
I'd love to know from you guys watching, have you heard of adaptogens? Maybe you've heard of them as powders, medicine, sort of herbal medicines, like things like, well, you'll explain. I mean, ashwagandha is certainly one I take. Just put in the chat, have you heard of them? Is these something that you take? Have you heard of them in skincare? Because these are relatively, they're really ancient, aren't they, Laura? But they're just coming to the fore in terms of beauty and wellness.
Some of them are ancient. So ashwagandha has been used in Ayurvedic medicine for centuries. Some of them are super ultra modern, although they're natural. So we have some ingredients that come from bacteria, which we make with biotechnology, which actually it's a bit like brewing in terms of the process. And they come from places which are so extreme that plants can't even survive. So places like Antarctica or a very salty lake in the middle of a desert in Egypt. And they have some of the most protective and amazing properties on the skin because they've had to survive in such hostile environments. They've had to develop these amazing survival strategies. So you can just intuitively imagine something that lives in the desert is really, really good at helping to lock water into its cells. So when we use that on the skin, it really helps to hydrate the skin. So for example, we use the resurrection plant, which is the plant like that completely dries up and then it springs back to life as soon as there's any rain. And that's what we're harnessing with the Adaptology ingredients.
I just put myself on mute, sorry. Yeah, I mean, it is incredible that you can get these kind of naturally occurring or even cultured ingredients and put them into skincare. I think it's, I almost shouldn't ask how you do it because it's probably extremely complicated, but you've got a little video of the resurrection plant, haven't you?
Yes,
I should show it. It's really cool.
Yeah. It's quite cool. It's like a time-lapse video to just show how it comes back to life as soon as there's rain. So I'm just going to quickly share that with you.
So it just shows the hydrating, you know, the power that this plant has to respond to hold on to and respond to moisture. So here we go. This is the dry plant, isn't it, in the desert? You live like that. I
hope it's not too small on your screens.
No,
but yeah.
No, that's good.
Oh, good. So this is just a very quick time lapse showing what happens as soon as it comes back to life, as soon as it sees any moisture. Then it quickly flowers and produces seeds, and then it just dries up again. And it's been going for about 500 million years. It's one of the plants that's been most successful. It's sort of described as a living fossil because it's such a successful plant. So when you use this on the skin, we use this in our Hydro Pump Booster, which is part of our All Sorts range. So this is designed for all skin types. Yeah, and this really helps to rehydrate the skin along with multi-molecular weight hyaluronic acid. So it brings life back into the skin just in that way. And it really helps to boost luminosity in the skin and just sort of stabilize the skin's cellular membrane. So what I love to do is to fuse these amazing ingredients that have great clinical data behind them, and then also add in all the other building blocks that you might expect, so things like ceramides and hyaluronic acid and peptides. So we deliver all of that sort of benefit in terms of those key actives, but then we bring in all these amazing clinically tested adaptogens as well, which we focused specifically for different skin types.
Wow. I mean, and we've got everybody here, I think you got specific products for your skin type. So Laura, do you want to talk about the sort of different skin types that you addressed with your range?
Yes, so I can quickly show you a very short slide on each of the ranges and what we've used in each range. So when you look at your bag that you've been sent, you'll know what's in it.
And we'll be using them very shortly. So this is just a little sort of explainer about.
Tiny explainer. So if you told us that you had oily skin and blemishes, really what we're trying to do is to work at a deep level to try and stop that blemish cycle. So we don't want the blemishes to get, to appear. So we want to try and reduce the overproduction of oil. We want to declog the skin, and then we want to balance the bacteria levels in the skin. That's sort of the blemish cycle. And if you do that consistently, you can help to reduce the appearance of blemishes. And we use things like alpine willow herb, which is a rare alpine plant, which helps to break this inflammation cycle, which causes the skin to make too much oil. And that doesn't soak the oil up. It actually just stops the overproduction of oil from even happening. So even if you don't have blemishes, but you were working on open pores and a shiny T-zone, then this range will really help with that. We also use bakuchiol, which is often known as an anti-aging ingredient, but it actually has amazing properties on blemish-prone skin as well, especially when it's combined with salicylic acid, which we use it in this range as well. And those things are, and we use niacinamide in the serum, which is the vitamin B. And those things have all got clinical data backing them up and to really, really help. So you'll have the break-free cleanser, which is a wash-off cleanser, which we'll go through in a minute when we explain how to use the products. You've got a very lightweight moisturizer. And then you have the serum, which you can use either as a spot treatment in just certain areas, or you can on your T-zone, or you can use it all over your skin, depending on your skin needs. So that's for blemish-prone skin. And then
I've definitely, yeah, I've been giving that to my teens, and this is actually only just out, isn't it? I have to say that, Laura, you're very young brand. I think only a year old, formed in lockdown. Very brave.
That's right. I did all the formulation not the summer that's gone, but the one before, 2020 summer, and it was a great distraction from lockdown.
Yeah.
So it was a really good project to work on then. If you suffer from rosacea or redness or very sensitive skin, the Red Avert range should be the one that we've sent you. So this is all about inflammation, because we know that rosacea is an inflammatory condition, and we can't work on a medical level because we're using cosmetics, but we can still have an impact on the appearance of all of these things. So you'll have the really amazing blue cleanser.
Oh my gosh, I don't have rosacea, but I don't, can you see?
Really hard
got the blue one
on the light. Yeah, it's completely blue, and it's got blue tansy in it, which is an amazing,
oh my gosh, I love it.
like a sister plant to the chamomile. It smells really beautiful, and it goes onto dry skin. We'll show you how to use it in a minute, and it very much protects the skin from being stripped and becoming reactive when it's being cleansed. So it's very, very gentle and very soothing. And then you'll have this moisturizer, which is basically it's designed to calm the skin down. We use cherimoya, which is a South American fruit, which reduces the appearance of redness. We use northern truffle and chaga mushroom, which are both mushrooms that calm irritation, and chaga mushroom helps to support capillary health, which is why we've included it, because of its benefit on rosacea. So we've got the serum as well, which has all of those in. So that's the real sort of power punch against inflammation. And the moisturizer also contains ingredients which help with anti-pollution, anti-blue light, and stress as well, as all the moisturizers do in the range. So that's kind of your modern living protection. So everything that in modern living that makes our skin and our bodies sort of flare up is protected against, and that's for all, that goes across the whole range. I should have said that for the break free. If you are thinking about aging well, and you're thinking about sort of stress related aging and how to make your skin look more alive, not grey, with lovely,
I think about that every morning, I have to say.
Well, I think we all do to some extent. So you may not be working particularly on a skin issue, because this is something that we're all trying to do, but you might still want to get the best out of your skin. Then the Time Warp range is the one for you. So we have an oil-based cleanser. I know that there's real fans of oil-based cleansers who perhaps used to use Shuramura oil-based cleanser, which you can't get anymore, who love the idea that you can put an oil on. It's very quick to use. It's lightweight. It leaves no residue, and it will rinse off, and it will take all your makeup with it. So that is a really quick but effective way of cleansing your skin. It doesn't strip the skin. It has vitamin C in it, which brightens the skin. So this is fantastic. It also has sea buckthorn and rosehip oil, which are both super protective antioxidant oils. Rosehip has a bit of bioretinol in it, and sea buckthorn is an amazing Arctic oil, which is bright orange because of all the beta carotene it has in it. So that is a great product. We'll show you how to use that in a minute. Then we have one of my favorite textures in the range, which is a very melting cream, the Time Warp cream. You can see I've nearly finished mine because I love it. And it's a really great product for nighttime use as well. If you want a richer cream at night, then that would be a good choice. If you have sort of combination skin but you like a richer cream. So this has got bioretinol in it, as well as hyaluronic acid, and then our adaptogen protection complex to protect against modern living. So that's
what is bioretinol? I mean, obviously retinol is the trendy skincare ingredient, but it's not. I mean, it's the said to be the gold standard against not just aging, but blemishes, all of that.
It's really multifunctional. But the problem with true retinol is that it's a synthetic. So if you want a natural product, then it cannot be used in organic products like the ones we make. But also there can be some irritation issues with it, and you can't use it in the sun, and there's lots of sort of things with it. So yes, it's very effective. What has happened is some plants have been identified as working in a very similar way to retinol on the skin. So what they've done is they've effectively looked for a plant-based equivalent. So bakuchiol is one of them. And then the other one we use is called Beden's pilosa, which is a tropical plant. And so we use them both depending on where we think they're most suitable. So Beden's pilosa has really good data on age spots and pigmentation, as well as really comprehensive anti-aging data, it boosts the collagen and the elastin. So we put it in the moisturizer in Time Warp, and we've used bakuchiol in the break free range. I think they're both great.
Yeah.
And we really love them. And this serum has got my Antarctic ingredient I was telling you about, which is one of my favorites because it is so good on wrinkle depth reduction. It's the best thing I've ever found in my research. 42% reduction in wrinkle depth, which is 44%. I've just
wow.
So that is better than a synthetic peptide, and I think it's amazing. It really makes you look like you've woken up. So and we've added 4% niacinamide in as well to make that even better, and some peptides from Sasha Inchy from South America. So
just in case, I mean, niacinamide, that is it's a kind of sort of it's vitamin B3, isn't it? Do you want to explain a little bit about what it does, because it's in so much skincare these days? You know, if it's not squalane, it's niacinamide.
Yeah, it is. It's a really popular ingredient, and we've used it because of the really amazing clinical data that it has. So yes, it's a vitamin, and it's very good for the skin, and it just has this wealth of data behind it. So we've used it as an anti-aging ingredient, as well as, again, it's sort of similar. It works across the board, anti-aging, and then blemishes. So we haven't stopped using all of those other building blocks, as well as the adaptogens where we thought they were relevant. And then we have the dry spell range, and I think you've got more of it in your display than me, because my skin's more combination, but you can
I've got, yes, I think I've got most things.
Everything.
I've got the cleanser.
So the cleanser is a balm cleanser, so it's not blue, this one, it's a similar type of cleanser though, and this one has papaya in it, enzymatic cleanser. So if you have dry skin, and then on top of your skin there might be some flakes of oil that are flakes of skin that are stopping the hydration from going into your skin, this is a great way to cleanse your skin gently but remove that that sort of barrier to help hydration be able to go into your skin. And then the serum is a CBD oil-based serum, so it has oils which are very similar to the types of oils your healthy skin would have, so we've called them biomimetic lipids. And then it also has CBD, which calms the skin down. It works on the endorphin and the endocannabinoid,
cannabinoid system. I know,
system, which just relaxes the skin and just helps to chill everything out. So that is really fantastic as well. And we've got the Arctic sea buckthorn in there too. And then in the moisturizer, this is the richest one we do. And this has got ceramides in it and the biomimetic lipids as well. And it has this the adaptogen protection complex in too. So that's what you should have in your box that you've been sent. And I'm just going to stop sharing for a minute.
Sam is asking, can you use the cleanser on eye makeup? Sam, I'm assuming you meant the yellow one, because that's the one we've just talking about. Is that the one you meant? I mean, I use certainly the blue one, which I use all the time. I mush it in, yes. So
all three of the oil-based cleansers, so the Time Warp cleanser and the two balms, are really good at removing makeup. And what you can do, you can either, if you're wearing light makeup, you can just wash them off. I'll show you how to do that. Or you can use a muslin to remove the first bit of the makeup and then go back in. Depends how heavy your makeup is, and whether you like to do a double cleanse or a single cleanse. If you have the Break Free range, it doesn't remove makeup so well, but it's a great as part of a double cleanse routine. So you might start with a micellar water, and then you would follow up with that to remove the micellar water, or you might start with an oil-based cleanser, and then you would follow up.
I tend to go in twice, but with this, or you can use, I mean, if you want to save the good stuff for the second cleanse, I go in with a kind of cheap cleanser to start with, just to get the dirt off, and then right into the pores I go in with the the real
we've had big debates about this in the team, but I checked with Caroline Hirons about this to see what she thought, and she agreed with me that you go makeup remover first of whatever kind you like to remove the top layers of makeup, and then you follow up with your balm, because that then will massage in really nicely. You don't want to massage it in if it's full of grime. If you want to use your balm twice, that works, but the first time is to remove the grime, and the second time is to go in.
I actually use these this is Face Hailer, but there's lots of different types of these. That makes a great first cleanse. You don't actually need anything, but it gets the pretty much most of the dirt off. It doesn't go in deep, but
so I think,
are we ready for our facial?
We can do our facial. I just wanted to find out if anyone had questions about trying to decide which skin type they were. I know for the purposes of this, everyone's been sent something, but I wondered whether people had other questions about, you know, how do I work out what skin type I am, or which products would be best. And if anyone had any questions about mix and match, because you might have oily rosacea, or you might have dry skin and spots or anything. So I just wanted to see if anyone had any other questions before we go into the workshop practical.
Yeah, I can feed them back as they come up, Laura. So I am going to unspotlight myself so we can see you. And I am going to get my water and my flannel. Please do get yours if you'd like to do this along with us. We will be sending you a recording afterwards as well, so don't worry, you can do it in your own time.
So I'm going to show you first how you would use one of the balm-based cleansers. So if you have the yellow cleanser or the blue cleanser, I will definitely deal with your question, Manjiet, about melasma, and I will do it after we finish the demonstration, if you don't mind. And so this blue-based cleanser, you put this type of cleanser onto dry skin. So you would massage this in. The reason you don't put it directly onto wet skin is because when you massage it in, it's actually very good for the skin to have a kind of a facial massage. So this is a really good way. I'm just going to put it on half my skin and then show you how you would use the oil-based cleanser on the other half. So it's very simple to use. Put it onto dry skin. If you are going to go over the eye area, that's fine. You can even go over the eyelashes like this if you want to. And so that is sort of how you would apply that. Now, if you were using the oil-based cleanser, equally simple. So you would pump this onto your hand. So just taking a few pumps of that. So it comes out, try and show you, comes out really easily. It's quite a liquid oil. And then you would just rub that between your hands and apply that. And it's very simple. If you were going into the shower, this would be a great product because just be really easy to wash this straight off the skin. So it's much more liquid than the balm-based cleanser. But if you want to, you can still give yourself a very nice facial massage with either of these two products. Now, when you mix them with water, they milk. So let me try and show you this if I can without dripping it all over my computer. So as soon as you mix them with water, they milk. And this is great because it means they will rinse off your skin. They will rinse off all the makeup, and makeup tends to be oil-based. So this is why they're such good makeup removers. If you end up using them on combination skin, they are not going to leave a greasy residue that is going to, this one doesn't, you can't quite see it milking as much, but the oil cleanser does milk as well. So it sort of changes texture and becomes very sort of milky on the skin and not greasy anymore. So that's that. If you were using it and you had makeup, what I would do, and I'm going to do now just because it's easier when I'm just with a bowl rather than a basin, you could just wipe the excess off, and that would help to take the makeup off with the cleanser. And then you could just follow up and rinse the skin. And even though I wasn't wearing makeup, I can still see some grub on my face.
Oh,
so
I've got loads here.
Yeah, so I'm just going to give myself one more little rinse and then just follow up with, I'm just going to do a second cleanse. If you wanted and you had combination skin, you could actually even follow up with the break-free cleanser, which is what I'm going to do now. So either as a second cleanse or as a first cleanse, the break-free cleanser is a foaming cleanser. So this is a bit more straightforward, more what you would expect. You just put this onto damp skin. This just foams, and that will then take off any other residue. Now this has got salicylic acid in it. So if you want an exfoliating treatment, you could just leave this on your face. Maybe you go in the shower, put this on, wash your hair or whatever else you're doing, and then that gives you a couple of minutes with it on your skin, and then you can then rinse that off. I'm just going to use my muslin, which I normally wouldn't do with the foaming cleanser, but it's a bit tricky not to get water all over my computer. I'm just going to do that now.
So you could use this, the break-free salicylic cleanser as a, I mean, salicylic I think gets into the pores more than other acids. Could you use it if you've got sensitive skin, if you just wanted a bit of exfoliation, or was that not be a good idea?
So you're right, salicylic acid is oil soluble, whereas the other organic acids, so all the fruit acids, the AHAs, are water soluble, which makes salicylic acid very suitable for oily skin because it can penetrate into the pore. It's also a sister plant to the aspirin, which means it's anti-inflammatory. So it's actually very soothing, But I would say that for very sensitive and rosacea prone skin, because it is quite an exfoliating ingredient, it might not be suitable, but actually something like the papaya enzymes that we use would probably be more suitable.
In this one, is that that would be in this one?
I think that one would be better.
One.
If indeed the skin needed exfoliation, because with sensitive skin, you are trying to build that barrier layer back up. So you don't really necessarily want to completely exfoliate it. I think, you know, with dry skin, if it isn't sensitive, it can be quite helpful, as I was saying, just to remove the skin flakes. But with really sensitive skin, I would be really careful. But you can always do a patch test. Before you go in deep on, you know, the majority of your skin, you can do a patch test behind your ear. I would always do that if I had sensitive, well, I do it, but, you know, for anyone who has sensitive skin, I would suggest that that's a good idea, because, you know, you don't want a reaction on your face. If I put some on the crook of my elbow, I can immediately feel if my skin and my body doesn't like it, and you get kind of attuned to messages from your body when it's telling you things, and that's kind of good to try and, you know, work out.
The thing with this, my favorite cleanser, this blue one for sensitive skin and redness prone skin, the amazing thing is it has actually got quite a strong smell, and usually people with sensitive skins would avoid anything like that. But you've been very clever with this, with your use of things that smell, because obviously it's a lovely experience to have something that smells, but it can, you know, scent can be an irritant. How have you got around that?
So yes, I always feel it's a bit of a shame for people who are hypoallergenic that they end up with all these unfragranced products, because even though they don't have a fragrance, they do still smell of the base, and they can smell quite medicinal or just sort of a bit, just sort of not a very nice smell. So they do still have a smell often. So what I've done is I've looked for hypoallergenic fragrances. So all the products have a natural fragrance, but it's free of fragrance allergens, which is one of the most common cause of skin allergies. And they all have slightly different fragrances. So the Break Free range is a little bit fresher, and the going in a spectrum to the Dry Spell range, which is a little bit more creamy and nurturing smelling. And then we've then, in the blue cleanser, we've used an active that has a fragrance, because this blue tansy is both a fragrance because it's part of the chamomile family, and that has a fragrance, and it's an essential oil, but it's also very soothing. So that's sort of how we've got around it. But it was very difficult to find fragrances that were not synthetic, that were hypoallergenic. We had really to work a long time with the fragrance companies, and at first they said, oh no, that's not possible, and then we eventually managed to do it, because we wanted to certify the products. Many of the products are certified organic, and we couldn't do that if we were using a synthetic fragrance.
Yeah, well, it's brilliant to know that, you know, that's really something for sensitive skin that, you know, it feels like a true indulgence. It's not going to make you you know, react. That's brilliant.
Absolutely. So next step then, so we've
put on our cleanse. Yeah, what's next?
So if I had a toner, then this would be when I would use it. So I'll show you them, although you don't have them, but if you like the rest of the range and you're interested in the toners, there are 4, one for each range. So I've just got the Dry Spell toner here. This is just a spray-on hydrating toner.
I've got these 2 here.
Yeah.
I've got the Red Avert and Break Free here.
Yeah. So the Break Free has salicylic acid. So again, it's more exfoliation. And the Red Avert has lots of anti-inflammatory ingredients, so you can use it all day long to calm your skin down, and they have hyaluronic acid in as well. And then what you would use next, which is in your box, is one of your serums. And so you always use the serum before the cream, because you want to put the ingredients that penetrate deeper into the skin, that are in a lighter formulation, before you kind of finish off with your top layer of protection. And if you're
right, can I just take you back to toners, because loads of people, I don't know about you guys, loads of people are really confused about toners. What do they do? Because there used to be this, you know, the Clarins Cleanse Toner Moisturize. Now you get the acid toners. In your kind of world, what do you use a toner for?
So there used to be a way of balancing the pH of the skin, when we used to use very alkaline cleansers. Now these cleansers don't work like that, so you could argue that you don't need to use a toner, and that would be absolutely fine. We haven't sent you the toner because I think that the toner, you can do cleanser, serum, moisturizer without having to have a toner, but you get additional benefits from a toner, and it's in a very lightweight form, so it's another way of layering actives and also having a way of reapplying throughout the day. So what's lovely about the toners which we have is you can apply them as you go through your day on top of makeup. They're actually great to help set makeup, to rehydrate the skin. So We do have one that's an exfoliating, no, we have two that are exfoliating toners. We have the break free, which is for oilier skin with the salicylic acid, and then the time warp toner is all about enzymatic exfoliation.
Right, yeah.
And it also has some blue light protection in it. So that one is more of an anti-aging perspective, but the other two are really more hydrating mists. So they're sort of, the dry spell has the resurrection plant, and that's just great to rehydrate the skin. And then the red avert one has got all these things in to calm the skin down. So
this is a brilliant handbag one, and you can decant it into a little bottle layer. This will be brilliant at any sort of, for
we're going to do small versions actually, hopefully soon, so that would be great for a handbag. So so if you want to use one, then you can, and I think it's just for different reasons you get additional benefits from them, but they're not completely essential. If you were stripping one item back, I would say that's the one you don't absolutely have to have, but it is a nice to have. And then your serum, so you put your serum on next, and that's because you want it to penetrate as deeply into the skin as possible. So based on your skin type and your skin requirements, you can either put it all over your skin, or you might decide you don't need to put it all over your skin because it's just working in one area. So if I have one spot, I might just put it wherever the spot is. Or if I was working, say I was just working on my T-zone and I had sort of larger pores here, then I could apply my break-free serum here. And if you had multiple skin needs, so say you had a really oily T-zone and flaky cheeks, sometimes that happens to me, you could say, right, I'm going to put my break-free here, and then I'm going to follow up with another oil serum, like my dry spell serum, in that area. So really, you can create a palette or a wardrobe of different serums which meet your specific skin needs with what we've got here, because we have one for spots and really oily skin. We have one for redness and rosacea. We have one for anti-aging, and then we have one for really dry skin. You might find the anti-aging one, it makes more sense and it's quicker just to put it all over your skin, because you're
this is so hydrating. It's lovely. It's almost I feel like I don't need a moisturizer after that, but
it is hydrating, and you might find that sometimes you don't need a moisturizer. So it's the same with the red avert. So the red avert's a bit like that too. So that is it's a sort of a serum texture, so you can see it's sort of creamy, and the way I would apply it is I would press it into the skin, so that's the best way for your skin to accept and absorb what goes in, to just sort of press it in, and that would be what I would do with any of them. If you are short on time and you want to mix them into your moisturizer, you can absolutely do that if you want to. And you can do things like, if you, in the winter, if you find the moisturizer isn't rich enough, you could put a couple of drops of the dry spell serum in with your cream just to give it a bit more richness. So that's another way of using that serum in particular. And then this is, I mean, it's pretty straightforward. You've got your cream, so then just you use that as your top layer. If you were using an SPF, so if that was in the daytime and you were using an SPF, that would go on top, so that would be your very top layer. So basically that's designed to sit on the skin and prevent the sun's rays from damaging your skin. The moisturizer is designed to help the moisture not leave the skin, and it's designed to kind of sit in the top layers, and then the serum goes inside. So you can use, you can dot the moisturizer on, but it's good not to rub. It's good to kind of fold the skin to get the moisturizer to go in a little bit.
Shouldn't you? I mean, you've got this very kind of soothing looking technique. Why is the pressing better than the rubbing, for example?
It sort of relaxes the skin. It's something I learned when I first went into the beauty industry, and I was trying creams and I was kind of going like this, and they were going, no, that's not how you do it. And that's just a way to kind of just help the skin absorb it more easily. And it gives you a bit of a massage as well, and it feels nice. So, you can, particularly with the time warp, which I've just put on, it's got quite a long play time about it. So you can rub for a little while if you want to. And it feels really nice. You're boosting the circulation. There's loads of pressure points. You can learn about pressure points on your face. We could do a whole other workshop about lymphatic drainage and pressure points and where they all are. And you could use a gua sha stone if you wanted, if you have one. We're just about to launch one of those in our Evolve range. So yeah, it's So many nice things you can do if you have a few spare minutes, but you can equally just, whiz and go if you need to, which I know lots of people
Nice.
always do.
Brilliant. Oh, my face does feel incredible.
Yeah, and I do love the fragrances in this range. I just think, we've used, the other thing I didn't say was in all the toners, we haven't used fragrances, we've used floral waters. So we have rose water, orange flower water, lavender water, all in different blends in the different toners. So they're all completely naturally fragranced as well. Yeah, I just hope you really enjoy using your products. Does anyone have any questions about how to use the ones you've got in your own pack?
Please put your questions in the chat if you've got anything for Laura. Meanwhile, maybe we can go to the melasma question.
Yes, so melasma, I believe it has a hormonal component, and I'm not a dermatologist or a doctor. I think that to work on melasma, it would be interesting to speak to a naturopath or a natural dermatologist. I have a very good one I can recommend. In terms of skincare, I think, you can try and work on pigmentation, which is caused by sun damage and things like that, and post-inflammatory pigmentation. But I think with melasma, you need to work at a deeper level. And I think my philosophy always is you need to work from the inside out as well as from the outside in. So I should have said that before, but that's a very key part of what we're doing with Adaptology. And I particularly think if you have a skin condition, whether it's rosacea or blemishes or something like melasma, it's really important to understand what's going on in your whole body. It could be that is something that's not something you can work on, it's a hereditary thing, but a lot of things relate to our environment and our lifestyle. And even things that have a hormonal component, we can work on our hormone levels by what we eat. When I was doing all my seminars on the Break Free range, which we launched recently, I was explaining how testosterone is very influenced by how much sugar we eat in our diet, and that can then make the skin more oily. And I think with melasma, it can happen, to do with hormonal changes. But I think that would be something that it would be really good to investigate with a naturopath to get to the bottom of why it's happening. Is it related to hormones? And we have a naturopath on our team, so you can actually book a consultation with our naturopath via our website, and she can work on skin issues by looking at what's going on in the body, as well as us working on them by putting skincare. So you basically have a comprehensive, holistic system to help with any skin issues and also any general health things, because she doesn't just work on skin, she works on the whole body.
Oh, nice. Oh, thanks, Laura. I feel like my skin is so bouncy and relaxed, and that massage, it's all glowy. I love it. I used mainly the dry spell, and actually I used dry spell, time warp, and red avert. So those are my three.
Yeah,
but what you're saying about cocktailing, it's really nice also for different days. Sometimes when you've been in like an air-conditioned environment, or it's coming up to winter, it's your skin can lose a bit of moisture in winter. It's really good.
It looks really amazing. Your skin looks absolutely glowing now.
I'm really impressed with myself. Yeah, honestly. I did.
Lovely.
I really piled on this one.
That one's really good.
Yeah, really.
So I think you're absolutely right. I think you need to listen to your skin, and you do potentially need to create something customized. You can start off with one regime and see if it suits you, but you can always mix and match, and we can help you do that. We have a skin coach who can help you design something specifically for your skin, and you might need to change it in the winter or in the summer. And even throughout the month, your skin can fluctuate depending on your hormones. So it's really important to try and get in tune with what your skin and your body are telling you. And I think a lot of times they're giving you information, and it's just about knowing what those signals are and then what to do when they happen.
So tell us, if people wanted to get in touch with the skin coach, what would they do?
So if you go to the Adaptology website, there's a clear link about how to book the skin coaching sessions, which are free.
Wow.
And then also some more information about the nutritional coaching, which is a paid for service, but it's working with a qualified health professional who can really advise, and they can also help you if you need to do any, blood tests or any other tests, and nutritional recommendations are included, and diet and menus and things like that. So that's very comprehensive. The skin coach is just more about getting the right regime, and also just sort of checking in with someone who knows about skin. She's a qualified facialist, but that's free, so you can book that from the website.
Oh, that's nice. I mean, it's, it also is a really great way to make sure that you're investing in the right products, because how many times have we bought things and they've just not been right, or, you end up only using half the bottle. It's, it's very wasteful. So, but this way, it's really nice that, that we can have these online sessions now where we can find out exactly what's right for us. And as you say, your journey started with, cystic acne. It's hard to believe, looking at your lovely clear skin now, that was ever an issue. But
I don't wear makeup ever now, because I had to wear it, for so long. I had to completely cover everything up, and now I just go around without any makeup, and I feel so liberated, because I'm not conscious about my skin, but I truly remember how I felt when my skin was a problem. And that's why I really want to help people who is still suffering from the same problems I was having, even though this is 20 years on. We still haven't got, in sort of mainstream medicine, we still haven't got sort of answers on these things, partly because they really involve the whole body. The skin is one of the biggest organs in the body, and so you can't just fix the skin. You have to kind of work on things holistically, and medicine isn't always very good at that. They like to have one problem and a solution, but if you go into the sort of holistic naturopathic world, then that's where you find holistic answers.
Yeah, well, you're definitely evidence of that, and we're so pleased that you've made this amazing range. That's, I have to say that all of these, if I'm right in saying, most of these ingredients have scientific studies behind them. So, this isn't just natural skincare that is, with this nice essence and that nice flower. These are actually things that will make a noticeable difference to your skin, because they've been proven to do so.
So I only chose ingredients that had really good clinical data behind them. And then now what we've been doing is we've been doing panel tests. So trying to get 50 plus people to try each product and tell us what they think. And the results which we're getting are amazing. And so it doesn't just work on us. We've tested it on lots of people. We've used ingredients that have really good data to start with. And now we're starting to see the results. It's a reasonably new range. So those are just coming in. But we're really happy with what with the testimonials and also the clinical results that we're getting.
Yeah, brilliant. And as you say, having great skin is, can make a measurable difference to your day. If there are no further questions, I'd just like to say thank you to Laura for so generously giving us these products to play with and sharing your knowledge. And I don't know if anyone's got a favourite here. I'm still not going to be diverted from my Red Avert cleanser, but I do have a new favourite based on this evening, which is this the Time Warp serum, 40% reduction in wrinkle depth.
It can't be. That's one of my favorites too. And I really hope everyone enjoys the products, but do get in touch and let us know how you get on. If you have any more questions, or even if you just want to tell us whether you like them or not, we'd love to know. And get in touch as well if you'd like to have a skin coaching session or anything else that we can help you with. And we really thank you for trying the products and for your time tonight.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Laura. Have a lovely evening, everyone. And we'll be sending you the recording tomorrow if you missed any of it. And do let us know how you get on with the products and how your skin is feeling. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Laura.
Thank you so much, everyone. Nice to meet you all. Bye-bye.